Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It's 6 o'clock. It's time for a Magic Live. Now today I'm going to be doing another routine from the Heroes and Villains deck. Now one of the cool things, which has been brought out recently by Penguin Magic and myself, and it was designed by the legend himself, Phil Smith. Now the thing about the Heroes and Villains deck is because you're not dealing with playing cards, and instead you're dealing with pictures of characters from cinematic history and literature history. It means that classic card routines really just pop a lot more and are a lot more relatable. And a routine that a lot of people don't perform that much is oil and water, because the presentation's always the same. In school, I learned oil and water don't mix. Watch, I will show you these playing cards. But when you use the Heroes and Villains deck, you can have like a good versus evil kind of presentation for it. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. I have Michael behind the camera. How you doing, Michael?
I'm good.
Good stuff. So this is a card game you can get called Heroes and Villains. Harness the powers of your dark side. 52 heroes and villains with fantasy art. Artwork on these are absolutely brilliant. I mean, look at that. That's Shere Khan from the Jungle Book. Victor Frankenstein, who is a hero, which I found interesting. But he is really, it's the monster that's the villain. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. There's 26 hero cards in this deck, and there's 26 villain cards in this deck. And I'm going to mix these cards up. I'm going to give them a really good shuffle, so there is no ambiguity. I want you to see, watch, give them a really good shuffle. Give them a, and if you were here, Michael, I would let you shuffle the cards. You're behind the camera, so I'm going to shuffle them instead. But I want you to see that those cards really have been mixed up. Is that fair? Now, I'm only going to take out a few of these cards. I'm going to take out, let me see. We're going to take out 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to take out 4 here, and I'll take out 1, no, 2, 3. Yeah, let's go for a good one. Oh, time of the year is perfect for that. 4. So a shuffle pack of cards, but we're only going to take out 8 cards.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the 8 cards that we're taking out, Michael, let me show them to you. There's 4 heroes and there's 4 villains. Okay. So the heroes I've selected is Santa Claus, definitely a hero. Pat Garrett, you know who Pat Garrett is? Do you know your American history?
No.
He's the guy that captured Billy the Kid.
Oh.
Yeah, Billy the Kid, Pat Garrett.
Yeah.
There you go. Sherlock Holmes, must have heard of Sherlock Holmes. And then finally, Hercules.
Yeah.
Yes. And then we've got 4 villains. We've got Count Dracula, probably the most iconic villain of all time. We have the big bad wolf, the bane of Little Red Riding Hood's life, definitely. Captain Hook. You know, he made Peter Pan's life a little bit of a misery. And finally, I thought this time of the year, take out Ebenezer Scrooge. Even though he became a hero at the end of the story, still a villain for the majority of it. Anyway, doesn't really matter. We only can use these 8 cards. Good versus evil. 4 heroes, 4 villains. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if you realise this. Heroes and villains never mix. They just don't, Michael. You have a big party. You invite 26 heroes. You invite 26 villains. They are not going to get on. They're not going to be sitting at the corner drinking and nibbling and chatting about what they've got up to. Heroes do not like villains. Villains aren't too particularly keen on heroes. Let me show you what I mean. If I mix these cards up, I'll put a hero and a villain, a hero and a villain, hero and a villain, hero and a villain. If I mix them up like this, they're mixed up now. They're like this: hero, villain, hero, villain, hero, villain. Now the cards don't like to be in that sort of scenario. So I wait a second, literally a second, and when I do, look at what happens. They separate. They don't like being together. It is horrifying thinking of those heroes and those villains being together. Let me do that again. Look, I'm going to go really, really, really slowly. I'm going to take the villains and put them over there. Villain, 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 villain. We're going to put them there. Heroes stay here. Now watch. I'm going to go really, really slowly. So we start off. We'll put a villain down, and then we'll put a hero on top. Then we'll put a villain down, and we'll put a hero on top. Then we'll put a villain down, and we'll put a hero on top. And finally, we'll put a villain down, and we'll put a hero on top. Is that fair?
Yeah.
You can see I did it very, very slowly. Yeah. Very, very slowly. Hero, villain, hero, villain, hero, villain, hero, villain. But they don't like standing around with each other. You put them in an escape room, one of the lot are going to escape straight away by kicking the door down. Because heroes and villains do not like to be together. They just don't. It's a thing. So I'll tell you what, we'll do it one more time. And if you were here, Michael, in front of the camera, I'd give you either the heroes or the villains. Which would you prefer?
The villains.
The villains. Okay, the villains. That's those. So what would happen is I would take the heroes, you would take the villains, and I would have you put a villain on my hand, and I would put a hero on top. I would then have you put a villain on my hand, and I would put a hero on top. I would have you put a villain on my hand, I would put a hero on top. I'd have you put a villain on my hand, I would put a hero on top. I would do nothing. I would give you the card straight away. And I would tell you that they do not like being in the same room together, which is why, even though I've done nothing, they will separate, because the heroes and the villains, they don't like hanging out. They just don't, right? But here's the thing. It's not just these. It's everybody else in the deck. Here's the thing. Do you remember I shuffled these cards together? We shuffled them at the very beginning.
Yeah.
All the heroes, all the villains. This is the thing. These cards don't like being together. It's an interesting thing about this deck of cards. It's a card game, and you shuffle them and you play cards, and that's all great. But here's the thing. You've got 26 heroes in this deck. You've got 26 villains. They do not like to be in the same pack at the same time. So here's what happens. If you leave it for a little while, they'll separate. Because if they don't, they'll kill each other. It'll be a cardboard massacre. Which is why, if you look, you can see that all of the heroes and all of the villains have separated. And that, my friend, is why heroes and villains will never get on. So, it's a way of doing oil and water, but actually making sense. This is my favourite way of doing oil and water now. This is one of my favourite routines to perform. I love doing this. The heroes and villains deck just makes this make so much sense. So there you go. That's the heroes and villains deck. Do me a favour. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. You can get this from Penguin Magic, obviously, but you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. I will be back again very, very soon with another video. Thanks for watching. My name's Craig, and this is Magic TV.